Stugotz here for 1-800-Flowers. The holidays always remind me of how thankful I am for the most important people in my life. Who knows where I'd be without them? So, whether it's a fall birthday, anniversary, or even just because, show them just how much you appreciate them with beautiful bouquets from 1-800-Flowers.com. 1-800-Flowers makes it easy to send a seasonal surprise to the most important people in your life. Right now, 1-800-Flowers is giving my listeners a special 24 for 24 offer. 24 multicolored roses for just $24. That's only $1 per rose. 24 multicolored roses is a perfect way to surprise your loved one for the holiday season or any reason. This beautiful bouquet of 24 roses in a rainbow of colors will leave your loved one stunned without spending a fortune. It's the best of both worlds. Amazing roses at an unbeatable price. These gorgeous roses from 1-800-Flowers are picked at their peak and shipped overnight to ensure freshness. 24 multicolored roses for just $24 is an unreal deal, but it expires Friday. When it comes to meaningful holiday moments, trust in the quality bouquets of 1-800-Flowers.com. To order 24 multicolored roses for just $24, go to 1-800-Flowers.com/Dan. That's 1-800-Flowers.com/Dan, but hurry, the offer ends on Friday.
You can always count on Bud Light, just like you can always count on Always Game Gary. No bar is too far. No wing sauce is too hot. Not for Gary. Always Game Gary is famous among friends. He deserves a Bud Light. Enjoy responsibly. Bud Light Beer, AB St. Louis, Missouri.
Canes are all we got. They're even going to take the MVP away from us, so it's not like we could celebrate Stanton and baseball. He's going to be gone soon. By the way, somebody pointed this out by email today. You realize that the first month of the season, Stanton looked so bad that I was confused at some of the stuff he was swinging at, and I was saying that if you're going to give that kind of contract to somebody, you got to give it to a sure thing. That's something that happened.
Nailed it.
First 6 weeks of the season, he looked so lost swinging at balls on the outside corner that I actually said that if you're going to give that kind of money to something, it has to be a sure thing. And then he wins the MVP award.
50 homers later.
Right. 59 homers later. Wins he can't do better than that. That's the maximum award you can win. You can't win something better than the MVP award. That's it. You're the best.
Yes, that means you are the best.
That's the best.
Yes,
not top 5, not top 10. You're the best.
Yep, all the players in the National League, right. You are the best.
You can't give that much money to someone who's not a sure thing. He's the best. Best.
You want him to be better?
I suppose he can be better, but he can't win more of an award than the MVP. I suppose he could win the MVP by more. Regardless, the Hurricanes, man, that was a fun game on Saturday. Good God, was that great. And the Menden balls on that guy, onside kicking up 14-0 and had it. Such a ballsy call on the road to just keep the ball from them.
Yeah, it was. It was an incredibly ballsy call.
I loved it so much. You're up 14-0. You're in the house of the undefeated team, and you give them the ball, and it ended up costing you because it's the first time Miami got anything at all going.
But you're going for the win there, and I respect that. He's listen, this is a really good team. We got him down, 14-0. I'm going for it.
Virginia played so well. It's the game I thought Notre Dame was going to play against Miami minus the turnovers. They played so well. Their quarterback looked so good, and Miami still throttled them, still beat them by 16, but Virginia played that game exactly the way they wanted to.
You mean by keeping the quarterback clean for half the game with line play? Their line, they did something that Miami really hasn't seen in terms of moving the pocket. Was very effective against a four-man rush. And then in the second half, Miami figured it out and got to him, and he ceased being Aaron Rodgers.
Were you nervous down 14-0, Mike?
It was one of those weird games I was never really nervous. Miami had an answer every time that it seemed like, this might be scary.
They were so close to not having answers, though, Mike. Like McIntosh with 2 3rd-and-1 stops. They did have answers on everything. They converted so many 3rd and 8s, 3rd and 9s, third down plays. They converted so many of them when the offense. That game felt like, Stugotz, tell me I'm wrong about this, because I haven't looked at any of the numbers. That felt like a game. They scored how many points?
44.
It felt like a game that they scored 44 points and didn't play well offensively. Couldn't throw the ball and couldn't run the ball.
Yeah, that was a big-time drive when they were down 28-14, I believe. It had two sort of medium to long third-down conversions. And this Rose here, super decisive to a fault sometimes, but those design runs.
Those quarterback draws, they got that 3rd and 9 at the goal line. He's like a running back.
Yes, he is.
That's the reason that they've got him back there.
Mike, you're not nervous at any point, down 28-14. I mean, they went, that's what, right? That's what good
Mike
teams
was
do.
not nervous. Mike was not nervous during that game. I was talking to him during the game, and I thought they were in trouble. I thought they were in trouble during the game.
So did I. I was so impressed to be down 28-14 after those two big home games and big victories. And I'm thinking, wow, they're in trouble here because it's the second half now. 14-0, not nervous. 28-14.
No, it's the
but then
way,
they're going a 30-0 run.
It's the way Virginia was playing, controlling the ball, short, safe passes, but then all of a sudden you got that pick six out of nowhere.
Short, safe passes and also some bombs. There was some miscommunication. We were playing zone 2. That was sort of frustrating. When you have all these athletes, you got to trust the athletes a little bit more. Anytime you see Delaney out there, it sort of gives away that you're playing
I'm
zone.
with you on McIntosh. McIntosh is a high pick. Like, that guy blew up a couple of third and short plays when Virginia was getting whatever it wanted on offense. Correct me if I'm wrong. Yes or no? You experienced it the same way. Miami scored 44 points in a game where they really couldn't throw the ball or run the ball.
Yeah, experience it that way. And that's what good teams do, by the way.
Man, I don't know if good teams do that, Mike. Like, I don't know. That's the reason that I've been telling you I like South Florida so much, because South Florida can do that offensively. It's one of the reasons I like Central Florida so much, because they could do that offensively, where you look up and you're like, they feel like constipated. They don't feel great. And then you look up and they got 40 points.
And you felt that for with the Canes finally.
It's the first
Saturday.
time I felt it with their offense. I'm like, how are they scoring 44 points in this game?
Well,
they're always in 3rd and 9.
Let me revise my statement. Good teams also blow teams out and win easy. But also, when they're not having their best game, in an emotional letdown spot, and to have a final score reflect a ho-hum victory.
They should have. If they had lost that game, Stugotz, just if you show me all the same things about that game and take away the Virginia turnovers, a few of them that were fluky, like they weren't. The pick six isn't fluky because you're causing that on defense, but a couple of those turnovers were just flukes.
You're talking about the muff?
I'm talking about the muff. I'm also talking about there was a play early in the game, Virginia's first fumble, where the running back just lost the ball going to the ground. It was just random. Like they were methodically going down the field.
I thought they put a good hit on him, and they did get that tip pass
That's
interception.
fine, but good hits and stuff, it's random. There are a lot of good hits that don't end up in fumbles. The only thing not random about turnovers is if you could get pressure with front four, and they weren't doing that.
I don't know, considering how this defense has played against power conference competition lately, forcing all these turnovers, I'm beginning to think that they have real knack for this.
No, Mike, you didn't hear what I said. You didn't hear what I said. I said the way that you get the randomness out of turnovers is you can get pressure with 4. If you're a team that can get pressure with 4.
Because you have enough back covering?
Yeah, you got 7 guys in the back there, and you're rushing the quarterback into mistakes. You're not allowing him to make these 2-second drops. You're not allowing him to throw all these quick passes. If you can get pressure with 4, what you are doing is you're avoiding your quarterback being able to go to the second and the third read, and when he starts to, he's already got the pressure, and so your cornerbacks are reacting to what they know his first and second reads are.
Yeah, it was a little frustrating because they had success moving the pocket, and we weren't necessarily getting to the quarterback with 4, but then we'd drop back and give them this soft zone, and they'd take advantage of it, and even turning one into a long touchdown because the guy broke a few tackles. It was only after halftime where they figured that out, and even if they send an extra guy, the extra guy is Jaquan Johnson, and he's getting there in a half second, so good luck with that.
Yeah. How, Texture writes in, the urinator has arrived. What? How? What?
I thought you were singing our praises here.
Guys, they're undefeated. They've exceeded every expectation this season. They shouldn't be 19-point favorites against the Virginias of the world.
Right. You're right. They've exceeded. If they lose the remainder of their games, you would still say this has been a wildly successful season.
If they lose at Pittsburgh, and they caught another break at Pittsburgh because Pittsburgh's a crappy home field advantage.
That
and
game
Pittsburgh
scares me, man.
Yeah, no one should.
Well, it's the noon start on Friday after Thanksgiving. Like no one feels energized at noon Friday after Thanksgiving. Nobody.
You're right. It's that team. Pittsburgh is the perfect team for them to be playing because Pittsburgh's not very good. But my God, they have to have the most favorable road schedule in the nation.
That's what that committee is looking at when
they
they're
have
holding
to.
up Clemson.
Mike, among those top teams, they have to have the most favorable road schedule. They haven't played anybody on the road, and Pittsburgh's in the same class. They're Duke, they're North Carolina, they're FSU.
Yeah, and they have one less road game this season than other teams because that game got canceled. Their toughest road game was Florida State. I guess that's another reason why I wasn't so nervous on Saturday, even down 28-14. That month that they had was hell.
Well, how about this, though, Mike? How about this? If you guys want to accuse me of urinating on this one, you can do so.
Thanks.
Rozier does seem to be somebody who so far this season has summoned these important drives every damn time you need an important drive. And I don't think that's sustainable. I don't think, getting a bobble against Georgia Tech or getting a bounce against FSU, I don't believe it's sustainable. I believe in one of these instances he's going to start throwing picks. Like he's going to start – he can't keep summoning down 14-0, down 28-14. They're never punting in those situations.
You don't believe in moxie?
No. I don't believe he's got an ability to convert these things. No.
Eventually, it's gonna. You can't say that he has more of an ability. He can't. It's gonna be tough to remain perfect in that situation all season long. But even if he fails the next few times, he's hitting at a pretty great clip.
Unbelievable. But he's exceeding his talent level. He's exceeding the expectations around him. They are really coaching the holy hell out of him in terms of using. Man, they're undefeated right now, and they're largely hiding their quarterback.
You look at last season, and they lost a lot of close games last season. Last season, when you look at the results, they were kind of close to what they are this season, really, outside of, being undefeated and all. And you could see the frustration in Mark Richt. He wasn't good at hiding it when it came to Brad Kaya. And Rozier, with that scrambling ability, erases so many of the other mistakes.
Yes.
And Brad Kaya is such a much more talented passer than Malik Rozier.
It feels like what Mark Richt has figured out. And we're always talking around here, Stugotz, about market inefficiencies. What are the things that you can exploit? And I think one of the things that he figured out, and he was eager to get rid of Brad Kaya, he realized my quarterback is more valuable. My quarterback, even if I'm getting from him 20 for 34 for 180 yards, I'm going to add to that whatever he's giving me in the running game, not just by rushing totals himself with quarterback draws, but just the way that opens things up for other parts of the running game. But I'm saying that none of that was in play on Saturday, and you still won.
Yep.
You still won by 16. Homer didn't do anything. He had the long.
He did it late.
He
broke
him late. He had the long runs, but I'm saying, is that a thing with them? Because I heard it described last week by the announcer. The announcer was saying, this is Miami. 1 run, 1 run, 1 run, 1 yard, 1 yard, 2 yard, 2 yard, home run. 1 yard, 2 yard, 3 yard, 1 yard, 2 yard, home run.
Homer. Yeah.
Homer. It's a Homer thing, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's a home run hitter, Dan.
Thank you, Stugotz.
Welcome.
It felt like they were in 3rd and 9 all game.
Yeah.
They scored 44 points.
By the way, that what you just mentioned with the quarterback play, got to give Mark Richt credit. He might win Coach of the Year just based off of this decision because it's probably the reason they're undefeated, him changing his style. Remember what Mark Richt offenses used to look like. That's a guy close to 60 years old.
But he had quarterbacks that could play that style, right? So he changed his style.
This is what I'm telling you guys, though. Did Richt have Stafford? Or was that before?
He had Stafford.
He had Stafford, yeah.
He had Stafford. He had David Green, some of the greatest college quarterbacks you've ever seen statistically.
What I'm telling you is, if you believe in college football, that they were this team last year, but they were losing these close games, that if you believe that they're Virginia this year, Virginia's been fine. They're 6-5. If that game had been played in Virginia, maybe Virginia wins that game against Miami. If you believe that winning is in the margins, that the difference between you and NC State and Virginia and Vatech this year is that you've had a favorable road schedule and you've gotten just about every bounce that an undefeated team would need to get. But if you want to increase the margins on winning, one of the ways you would do it is by exploring the market inefficiency of we're measuring quarterbacks wrong. Brad Kaya looks like a pro prospect, and he wanted to get rid of him because he knew that Rozier, who's a lesser passer plus running options, would make their whole offense more dynamic. And so if you believe if you believe that that's the difference between the close games or the close losses that are now close wins, that would be a place where the coaching mattered.
And he didn't believe in Rozier. He wasn't looking to push Brad Kaya out for Rozier. He was actually looking to push Brad Kaya out for Nkosi Perry, who wasn't ready. But that type.
Yes, that type of quarterback where Rick has absolutely realized, Stugotz, that Rozier becomes a more valuable quarterback than the way that I'm doing the measurements on quarterbacks because of how he opens up their run game. The way that if I were to say it this way, what's this worth? What I'm about to say to you. Your quarterback's just okay. He's an average college quarterback, maybe a little below average. But once or twice a game, that read option threat is going to break Homer for one of these 70-yard runs. Just the idea that he could do something that Kaya was never going to offer you as an option. Like, what's that worth? If that's what Rozier is giving you in terms of a quarterback play where he doesn't get any credit for what's happening there.
It seems like it's worth 6 points a game.
Thank you, Stugotz.
Yep. Hi, everyone. Stugotz here. Support for the Dan Le Batard Show podcast comes from our friends at Rocket Mortgage by Quicken Loans. Chances are you are confident when it comes to your work, your hobbies, and your life. Rocket Mortgage gives you the same level of confidence when it comes to buying a home or refinancing your existing home loan. Rocket Mortgage is simple, allowing you to fully understand all the details and be confident you are getting the right mortgage for you. To get started, go to rocketmortgage.com/Stugotz. That's rocketmortgage.com/Stugotz, STUGOTZ, equal housing lender, licensed in all 50 states, NMLS consumeraccess.org number 3030.
Dan Le Batard.
You okay, John?
Yeah, that's a good question. I was going to ask that. Is everything okay?
Oh, cough. No, I have allergies, so it makes me cough.
Okay, no problem.
Stugotz.
You okay?
Yeah, are you okay?
Yeah. You okay?
Yeah, I'm all right. How about you?
I'm fine.
Thanks for your concern.
Thanks for yours.
I've never had anyone I've never met this concerned over me and my health, so I appreciate it.
Okay, man, I'm a big fan, man. I'm concerned about it.
It's funny, John.
No, I'm not okay.
Finally, man.
You don't care how I'm doing anyway. What the hell are you asking me for? You don't really care.
It's so true.
You don't even know me.
This is the Dan Le Batard Show with the Stugotz on the ticket.
They just put a stat up on the screen that the Patriots have scored the last 7 times they've started a drive inside their own 10-yard line. And yet, again, here we are. It only took 10 weeks this season for all of us to realize, the Patriots again are going to win the AFC East.
Yep.
Everything else in the division has fallen apart. It took a few games, right, for the Jets and the Bills and the Dolphins to get exposed, but all of them got exposed, and now the Patriots are going to win the division by 12 games.
Right. The Bills were, 5-3 a couple of weeks ago, so you still had your doubts then, right?
But this has been the same. It is the Patriots' run over the AFC East can be considered the best thing in the history of sports in terms of dynastic, just overrunning a division for first-round buys your entire 20 years that Tom Brady is your quarterback.
Right. I mean, the Braves had that, right? The NL East
the
for
Braves,
a while.
Yeah, the Braves had it and got one title from it. But, again, here we are. The same damn story. 10 weeks into the season, Dolphins are over. You know that they're done. It doesn't matter whether they win the rest of their games to finish 10-6. You know they're not any good. You know it.
You do know it. And yesterday I realized why the Tampa Bay Buccaneers were consistently ranked higher with a worse record in the power rankings than the Miami Dolphins.
Well, I didn't watch any of the game yesterday. Like, I am so done with this brand of football. I am so done with we're going to get Jay Cutler concussed 5 times and then throw Matt Moore out there and he'll give us 1/2 a sizzle. And then if he's got to play next week, they're going to get shut out. Like, he'll give you the Matt Moore half of jazz hands. And then, hooray, 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 we're in it, we're in it, we're in it. Shutout next week.
Felt so good at 7-3.
He's only good. They really need to do this as a strategy, like in second halves, where the other team's just not preparing for Matt Moore. And so Matt Moore comes out there and does Matt Moore-y things. When you have a week to prepare for Matt Moore, shutout.
Right.
But if he comes out in the second half and he's like, wait a minute, we were expecting Jay Cutler 4-yard outs all game. What's this Matt Moore doing throwing the ball down the field? We weren't ready for this. We didn't do any prep for this.
You want a bad beat? Because I came in before the show today, and I told you that my big play yesterday was the Dolphins. Mm-hmm. I had the Dolphins plus 1.5. And at 7-3, I am, peacocking around my house like I knew something that no one else did. I mean, Cutler looked good. Dolphins looked good. Defense was playing well. And I'm feeling pretty good about myself. Now, I knew I lost the game because I saw the field goal. I saw the Buccaneers go up 23-20 with basically no time left. I did tell you before the game, well, it wasn't so bad because I also took him in a tease. I had him plus 7.5. I just realized, I'm not joking, I just realized I lost that tease. I had no idea that I thought the final score was 23-20. I had no idea the Buccaneers scored a touchdown on a fumble recovery on the final play of the game. I lost the tease.
I got one that's better for you.
Oh, my God.
I just realized it because you told me. I thought that game ended 23-20.
Yeah. By the way, it also affected the total in that game as well. It was the total.
So what happened? The Dolphins did one of these flipping, chucking it backward kickoff things, and then the Bucs just fell on in the end zone.
I chucked my remote at 23-20, turned off the game, and I just realized I lost the teaser.
Do you realize those are the best to win? They're the terrible ones to lose. But do you realize when you've got the Bucs and the over, how good that feels?
I'll do you one better. I had the Browns and the Dolphins.
What happened with that Browns game? Was there also a late touchdown in that game?
Late fumble defensive touchdown on what would have been a drive to potentially win the game.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I was like, that was the worst beat of the season. Fast forward 10 minutes, Dolphins Bucks.
So
not a great Sunday.
Rough day.
Who's the second best team in the division? I'm dead serious. Is it the Jets?
Well, the Bills when they play Tyrod Taylor.
And when they played Tyrod Taylor, they lost to the Jets pretty handily, too.
I don't think it's the Jets. I mean, they're all basically the same, right? Those three teams.
But do you think that Brady and Belichick, do you think that they have private jokes about the AFC East?
Yes.
Guillermo, put it on the poll. Do Bob Kraft, Bill Belichick, and Tom Brady have all sorts of private jokes that they make at the expense of the AFC East? Like, you think they text each other stuff? Dolphins this week, Jay Cutler. They're trying to do it with Jay Cutler. Peterman. Peterman.
They weren't close with Tyrod Taylor, but he was better.
Yes.
Way better.
Yes.
Oh, that Nathan Peterman thing. Oh, my God.
Kind of backfired.
That's great, right? He threw more interceptions than Kaepernick did all of last season. He threw more interceptions than Tyrod Taylor. In a half, he threw more interceptions than Tyrod Taylor has all season.
Yep.
I love the idea of Nathan Peterman to the rescue. Like, that's a thing that the coaches and Nathan thought before that game.
Oh, McDermott. I was just laughing at McDermott the entire time.
That guy's the worst,
And
man.
I'm daring him to say with Peterman.
That guy legitimately That guy legitimately thinks he's smarter than other people. He really that guy gives off. I am football cliche coach monster. I'm smarter than everybody else. Watch what I do with Nathan Peterman.
Right. I do wonder if that decision came down, higher than the head coach. Did the GM? Did anyone tell him, hey, we're not re-signing Tyrod? We're not going to win a Super Bowl with him. We don't want to pay him this much money, so you might as well just go with Peterman. I do wonder that. Because there's no way you could sit there and say that Peterman's a better... You can't be a head coach in the NFL. Look at that and say Peterman's better than Tyrod Taylor.
Do you think McDermott regrets the decision? Because he spoke about it after the game.
I saw these dumbass quotes.
Again, I felt like this was the right situation for Nate to come in and play
on the road.
And so, like I said before, I don't regret my decision. I regret the result. We didn't get the result we were looking for. So I don't regret the decision at all.
Okay,
right.
I'm going to use that.
I don't put Tyrod in the second half.
I don't regret the decision at all. My quarterback throws 4 first-half interceptions.
On the road against Bosa, that animal.
That's right. Let's go across. I thought this was the right situation, going across the country on the road to one of the league's best pass rushes.
As a producer, I don't regret the decision to go with a Gronk family feud. I regretted the results.
That Gronk family feud, man.
Still with me.
Yeah.
I'll never be able to shake that or the Jameis Winston pregame speech.
Ever?
Wow.
I'm with you on Jameis. Like the segment, you need to move on, man. It happened. We take big hacks. That one failed.
That one was bad, though. that one sent a chill down my spine right there. Allison right now is all manner of pissed off because Allison is always dealing with the studios. And so we've got Denzel Washington today in an hour and a half. And Denzel's got a really cool movie. Looks fun, and I wanted to watch it last night. And the studio sent it to me, but I couldn't get in with their passwords. And so Allison is so mad because I just got the new link following address. Are you ready? This is why it wasn't working last night.
Okay.
They want me to log in through my email account at danpatrick.com.
Ah!
You can always count on Bud Light, just like you can always count on Tailgate Terry. Without Tailgate Terry, you wouldn't have cold Bud Lights and 7-layer dip at every pregame. That's 56 layers per season. Just the right amount if you ask Terry. Tailgate Terry is famous among friends. He deserves a Bud Light. Enjoy responsibly. Bud Light Beer, 80 St. Louis, Missouri.
Don Le Batard.
All right, we're going to see whether any of these here can crack Chuck Norris's top 10. Now, your favorite involves the Tyrannosaurus Rex. You want to do yours?
Stugotz.
Yeah, that Chuck Norris was chasing the Tyrannosaurus Rex. The Rex was not chasing the Jeep.
This is the Don Le Batard Show with the Stugotz on the ticket.
I just walked into the shipping container filled with frightened refugees, and Mike Ryan was trying to talk himself into the idea that a hissing cockroach across his face wouldn't be so terrible. And then Mike Ryan and Guillermo got into a fight over Action Pants. Action Pants is, I believe, wearing pants on your top and a shirt on your bottom?
No, that's upside down person.
Okay.
I lost that tug of war. I got upside down person. Billy got action pants, which is he's got to wear a plaid button down, short cutoff jeans. I mean, we're talking Jessica Simpson cutoffs right here, Daisy Dukes, and cowboy boots. If you Google action pants, you'll find Chuck Norris kicking in them.
Okay. I'm sorry. I thought Action Pants was the upside down costume.
I got to tell you, that golden helmet of life that I drew on Friday.
Nice move.
I mean, it's so relaxing.
Yes,
man.
it's beautiful. You got 2 weeks off, and we're headed into the worst stuff now. Hissing cockroaches on the faces.
Right. That's because I have all the other stuff. I mean, I do. I owe like 4 or 5 things here.
So Roy has selected. He's going to do the Casino Royale. This is not fair. There's a built-in advantage in this grid to people who are not ashamed of their body. So
you should have heard Billy giving Roy the hard sell on the Zardos.
Zardos really wouldn't be as bad as a Casino Royale if you think about it, because it's cold now. It's December. You got to be in the ocean. You don't want that.
I did cryotherapy, so that's not really a problem for me right now.
Okay, there you go.
But I mean, Roy, you are the guy that can pull that off.
Yeah, Zardos. You're in the studio. You
Roy is
wear
just
a robe
going to
on
emerge.
top.
It's going to be the easiest challenge for Roy. He's just going to go out, walk 5 feet out there, and just emerge from the sea.
No, that's the hard one. Zardos is the easy one, Dan. Keep up.
Plus, he definitely looks the best nude of all of us here.
Yeah.
Well, but nobody's going to be nude.
Basically.
What kind of sound was that from Guillermo in the background?
Oh, he's right. Roy nude. Oof.
Thanks, Bill.
That Zardos is bad. I don't know why I put that on there. I really regret it.
Where are you going to get the Zardos costume? Where?
That's a great question. I have no idea. This is the real punishment.
You have no idea?
Look this up on the internet if you don't know what we're talking about. It's Sean Connery in 1970.
Yeah, it's terrible. I'm looking up whether or not there are costumes for sale anywhere. Zardos costumes for sale.
You're not going to be able. Guillermo, put it on the poll. Can a single Zardos costume be had anywhere on the internet? Because I'm going to say no. It's a 1970 Sean Connery joint that nobody watched.
I think I see one on Amazon.
I'm going to have to go to Joanne Fabrics, it appears.
What's going to happen is somebody's going to just put on like a rhythmic gymnastics ribbon, and we're going to say it's Zardos.
I need suspenders. I think I can pull this off with red suspenders. The boots are going to be tough.
Yeah.
There's a do-it-yourself tip. Oh, yeah, there's a whole kit.
Hold on, Mike. What's left on our grid that this is going to be the worst one in a long time this weekend, this Friday?
The grid.
Because you can't trust that. You can't trust that league. Two of you had the Chiefs this week and felt good about it.
Oh, I did have the Chiefs this week.
Oh.
I felt great about it.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I mean, how? Like, seriously, how does that even happen?
Roy had the any team by 10 points. He chose the Chiefs. They lost straight up.
Should have gone with the Chargers, Roy. Always bet against Nathan Peterman. It's a lifelong motto I've had.
Okay, so here's what's left on this godforsaken thing. And honestly, some of them don't sound that bad when you compare it to the Hissing Cockroach and Zardos. There's the Cheeto. You get your body painted orange. That sounds like a cakewalk, really, at this point. So there is still some easy stuff there. Obviously, the aforementioned Zardos is on there, which, heaven help us. There's the Hissing Cockroach, the pep rally, dress in a gender-appropriate cheerleading uniform. You have to go out in the Clevelander stage and perform several cheers for patrons for 5 minutes.
Ooh, 5 minutes. That's going to feel like a long time.
Oh, man. And then the Sting. The Sting, honestly, isn't that bad anymore. You just have to be shirtless, but oiled up. So you'll look better, and you have to be strapped to a bass guitar for the entire show.
Mike, I see the entire Zardos costume on sale here.
No, what you're seeing is the do-it-yourself thing that I mentioned, and you have to purchase the single itemized thing. There isn't a package of Zardos.
It's the best we could do. Yeah, you just got to buy them itemized, but that's fine. I mean, you got the entire thing.
You see their workaround? It was the red suspenders. What did I tell you?
Yeah.
Is there anything that you could have chosen worse than Zardos? Is there anything?
I guess you could just be nude. You just totally be nude.
But I think that being nude is less shameful than Zardos.
Being nude is somehow less revealing than the Zardos costume.
I don't know how to explain to people what Zardos is, but I just want you to imagine in an X form across your chest and loins, a rhythmic gymnastics ribbon, and red with like a brass ring right in the middle where your penis is.
The thigh-high brown boots too. What are those? Suede? They look suede.
I mean, does Connery even look? Because Connery's ripped here. Does he even look good in this outfit?
Allison, get me Sean Connery so that I could speak to him about just what was going on in Zardos. I want to.
Very hairy, Connery.
How old is Sean Connery now? He's got to be close to 90. No.
Connery's just he retired before the internet just started digging up on him. Oh man,
Sean Connery was telling Barbara Walters that it was okay every once in a while to slap a woman. And now Jeffrey Tambor is walking off of the set of the show Transparent. Have you heard this?
Yes, I have. People are just quitting.
People are just quitting because he's like, he apparently pressed up against an actress and said, "My God, Trace, I want to attack you sexually."
Right.
And Jeffrey,
that's what he said?
Yeah, that's what reportedly, that's what he said. Just the idea of Jeffrey Tambor doing that. Like a Jeffrey Tambor, who's less threatening? Jeffrey Tambor or George Bush in a wheelchair?
Ooh. I'm going to go with H.W. Bush.
I'll tell you something. I know how dangerous it is with the angry mob and flames climbing on all this stuff, Stugotz. But I will tell you something. I don't like this climate where we're treating all of this stuff the same, as if Harvey Weinstein is the same or Kevin Spacey is the same as what Jeffrey Tambor did.
But maybe there's more that Jeffrey Tambor knows is coming out, and he's just saying,
okay,
hey, you know what?
I know, but what he's saying is he's talking about he does not want to be in a politicized atmosphere. That's what he's saying. I don't know whether he knows more is coming out or not, but I am saying that there's a difference. Like, by degrees and degrees that matter between what happened with Harvey Weinstein and what happened with Al Franken. Like, we're treating them both the same, and they're not the same. And right now, the flames are climbing so high on this, and the angry mob is empowered, and the angry mob should be empowered. But the angry mob needs to be judicious with how you use some of this stuff. It ain't the same.
Right.
Franken and Weinstein are not the same. Franken and Spacey are not the same.
You're totally right, and people should be able to do that. I think people are just expecting that there is more than what we're just hearing.
With Franken?
With Franken, with Tambor, with all, with
come
everyone.
on, Stugotz, look,
Dan, I'm not saying that's fair. I think people are making that assumption.
This is what I don't like about what's happening here. And the starting point on this is it is noble and right, and finally, men are getting their comeuppance on some of this stuff. So that's my starting point on talking about it. But you have to be discerning and apply degrees to this. You cannot make this a death sentence to everybody and make no distinctions between rape and inappropriate workplace behavior or sexual harassment that is threatening, sexual, and involves a potted plant and pleasuring yourself, and, a photograph of Al Franken pretending to massage a woman while she's sleeping. Like, what Franken did was wrong, but don't blowtorch it with the same flames you used to blowtorch Harvey Weinstein. Because what ends up happening, did you see how the apologies came down with Franken? He tried to be the comedian, the senator, the wacky guy, and then realizing how many women he hurt by this.
Right, he had to apologize for the apology.
And he had to apologize profusely.
Yes.
Had to apologize with this draped in shame thing. And I just wish that there were degrees between those two apologies. I wish there were degrees between the two apologies where being flippant isn't okay.
Right.
But also this over the top, I didn't realize that my apology from 20 minutes ago wasn't good enough. Now I understand the pain I have wrought. I have filled with shame, and now I'm so sorry because I realize that my career is in jeopardy because of how flippant I was about this.
It's obviously all bad. All of it is terrible, but you're right. There are degrees of this. I mean, what Weinstein did is, it's sick, right? It's just, did you read the story over the weekend?
Too, but
the hit list that Weinstein had?
This might be criminal behavior we're talking about here.
There is new stuff on Franken. Just 15 minutes ago, a new woman claimed Senator Al Franken inappropriately touched her in 2010, grabbing her buttocks while taking a photo at the Minnesota State Fair.
Again, don't do that. That isn't Weinstein.
Nothing is real. Weinstein's unlike anything I've ever seen.
No, but what I'm saying is those aren't crimes. Please make distinctions between Bill Cosby, between people we're going to prosecute,
right,
and people doing what George Bush was doing with David Copperfield. Also wrong. Don't do that. But right now it feels like we're treating all of these like they're the same. Like the headline, groping is the same as rape. And I almost have to be careful how passionately I defend this, because then it makes me sound defensive, or it makes me sound like Jeremy Piven sounded, or Woody Allen sounded.
But you've always, no matter what we're talking about, you've always been interested in fairness and levels of, there are different levels of this. It's all bad, but there are different levels.
But I do feel like, I know so many women who are about these causes, and I support them with everything I've got. And they would tell you, come on, the Franken stuff's not the same as what we're talking about with Weinstein, where he's using his power. He's using his power to commit crimes. But man, oh man, do people have to be scared if we're going to start smoking out the sexual deviants? I'm not talking about crimes. I'm just talking about, what kind of weird stuff do you do? Do you think Quentin Tarantino wants in the news all the stuff that's all over the internet about his sexual proclivities?
Ryan Seacrest, I don't know if you saw that over the weekend. His name's getting dragged through the mud, and he's sort of acting as, I'm not making any conclusions here, but his behavior in response to this is something that an innocent person would do in terms of...
It's very aggressive.
Very aggressive.
Yes.
Apparently, his side has put out that the alleged victim reached out to them asking for some sort of money, which I think if you want to stop being on the defense and start acting more offensively, that's a good move if you're Ryan Seacrest, and there's only one out there. But once your name is put out there with this...
but Seacrest doesn't have anything but his name.
Exactly.
Seacrest doesn't have any talent so he's got to fight that with every army that he's got behind him because, once the flames start climbing on this.
But that's how you fight it. It's like make it known that you were offered a buyout and you refuse to pay any amount of money.
Or just go back, or just smear the accuser.
You don't think Ryan Seacrest is talented? Seriously. Oh, my God.
At what?
He's the best at everything. Are you kidding me?
I mean, he's TV polished. He's amazing, but
you can't do what he does. Dan can't do what he does. Oh, here we go.
I can't host American Idol.
You can absolutely not host American Idol.
I feel like I could.
You can host live with Kelly.
I feel like I could do the New Year's Eve stuff.
What?
I'm not certain about the Kelly stuff, but I think I could do just about everything else. I mean, all he does is he throws it in the top 40. I mean, it's like top 40. Hey, number 40 this week on America's Top 40 is blah, and then he goes. That's pretty easy.
Are you kidding?
I believe that you believe this too.
I'm telling you, I can.
Well, that is true. That Stugotz believes it. Guillermo, put it on the poll. Is Ryan Seacrest talented?
That's not going to be fair because everyone's going to say no because they're like you and they're going to be
well. How would you like to do it?
I don't know. Just he's talented. Accept it and move on. Very talented.
Guys, there's a reason why. If you need someone to host something, you get Ryan Seacrest. He's the only guy.
Everything goes through him first.
There has to be a reason.
White guys.
Put that on my soundboard. I want that on my soundboard.
We'll never stop playing.
It's going to take 8 months.
I want that on the soundboard.
What would you like to replace?
Instead of this.
Oh, what? Really? The boing? Oh, come on. Get out of here.
No, the boing's important.
Yeah, the boing is important.
I got so much stuff on here that I'm never going to use for no.
And they're off.
We need Boeing 1 and Boeing 2.
Hold on. Why did this get done for me with these? Like, why do I have that sound?
That's a meow whenever you talk about a cat.
Yes, need that one. Whenever we're talking, car racing, NASCAR, or trying to get away from a crime scene, that's the one you hit.
Yeah. Well, let's try it. Dale Jr. just raced his final race.
Oh, I just missed it.
Nah.
It's very important that we have two different boings. There's subtleties in the two.
Yeah. There are. Try it. Hit both. You'll see. Right. That's the traditional boing.
Lingering echo. Yes. This one's a big quick shot.
Ooh. Get in there. Yeah, that hurt.
Yeah, totally different.
So
you want white guys on there?
Yes.
Okay.
Clearly don't have any more room.
Guillermo, put it on the poll. Is Ryan Seacrest talented, or whatever version you would like to put on the poll that better represents your viewpoint?
Can you do what Ryan Seacrest does?
No. Well,
yes or no?
Okay. Well, that's fair to you, Guillermo, because
right now there's two hosts, right? Ryan Seacrest and Steve Harvey. That's it. Who else is there? Al flamed out after Family Feud.
It used to be Alan Thicke. Our friend Alan Thicke used to do a lot of that.
Certainly in the mix, yes. He was. But I think Billy's right. You go Seacrest first or Steve Harvey, and then...
Who's the bronze medalist of hosts?
Greeny?
Mario Lopez?
Is that really the bronze medalist?
I'm just going color spectrum here, folks.
Yeah. No, Mario Lopez is a good one because Mario Lopez thinks he's very good at television. And Mario Lopez is always giving off, I'm very good at television, and you're not that good at television. You're the bronze medalist.
He's a third call, though. What was that? Seacrest said no? All right, try Harvey. He said no, too? Call Slater.
Guillermo, put it on the poll. Is Mario Lopez the third call?
He's ahead of Matt Lauer?
Matt Lauer's got the exclusivity with NBC.
Okay.
Lopez can go anywhere.
You're right.
Is Mario Lopez the third call you make if you're looking for a host?
Carson Daly?
No. He's behind Slater.
Carson Daly's so sad because he's what Ryan Seacrest, he was supposed to be Ryan Seacrest, and he missed it by 5 years.
Put this on the poll as well. Is Carson Daly, or did Carson Daly's bloatedness keep him from becoming Ryan Seacrest?
I don't want to pile on him. Guys, he's had a very rough couple of weeks, Carson Daly. Let's
what
leave
happened?
him alone. He lost his mom, then a couple weeks later,
I didn't know
2
that.
weeks later, he just lost his dad.
Yeah, let's leave that one alone.
Oh, I didn't know any of that.
Yeah.
Wow, that's a downer.
Yeah.
Like that really ruined
Too soon,
the segment.
man. Yeah.
That's me right there, just face planting. That's terrible what just happened. I'm not even kidding. Like I had no idea, and it
Seems like a really good guy too. Yeah. You root for him. I actually heard he did his countdown, and he's thanking everybody for the prayers, and it was really touching.
TRL is like the best show ever.
It is.
Oh.
It's pretty good. A lot of people saying Tom Bergeron.
Yeah. It's like fourth call.
Yeah, he is.
He hit that jackpot with Dancing with the Stars.
Oh, yeah.
Really did.
Wow.
Yeah.
What a move.
Career changer.
Yeah, man.
Chris, I heard you through the soundproof glass saying 100% Ryan Seacrest is talented. You were arguing with ferocity.
I mean, it can't be disputed.